Hello everyone, I'm Shalja Sharma, your computer teacher. Today we are going to start with the part second of cascading style sheets. So in first part we have discussed about the DHTML. Okay, the parts of DHTML. What are the different components of DHTML? It is HTML, CSS, JavaScript and DOM. Now like we have already done with the one part of DHTML, which is HTML. Now we are going to study the another part of DHTML, which is cascading style sheet. Okay, so first of all the question arises, what is CSS? Like CSS stands for cascading style sheets. It is a programming specification markup language used for web development. Like CSS uses rules called styles to determine visual look of the content of the web page. Means we use CSS for the formatting purposes. Fine. Like CSS can set colors, fonts, background, borders, margins and even the placement of the elements on the web page. For generally we use CSS for giving the visual look, to enhance the visual look of our HTML page or our web content. Fine. So now we'll study about all these terms one by one, like what does cascading means here in the CSS. Like cascading refers to the procedure that determine which style will apply to certain section if you have more than one style or rule. Like cascading is a procedure which refer that which style could be applied to which particular part of the section if we are defining say some set of rules to the like more than one rule for the tags or for the elements. Fine. So what does style means? How you want a certain part of your page to look. You can set things like color, margin, font, etc. for things like tables, paragraphs, headings. So style is the like in what is the meaning of style, where we can change the, we can set the different color, margin settings for our text. Okay, so all those comes under the style. Now what are the sheets are like templates or set of rules to determine how the web page will look. Like this is about the set of rules. Fine, which we used to follow while creating those sheets. So CSS altogether is a styling language, is a set of rules to tell browsers how your web page should look. So we can also say that a style sheet is a file containing formatting guidelines that define overall look of the document. Generally, style sheet has the formatting guidelines. Okay, how we can change the text color, how we can change the font style or many other properties we can define under the style sheet. Okay, which change or enhance the overall look of our document. Okay, now here is some simple is one simple concept of style sheet. What is the concept of style sheet? Here you can see, here we have our HTML code and here is a style sheet. So what we have done, we have linked here this style sheet with our HTML code, and in the browser we could have the output of both the files, like both the combined file output is there on the browser. Fine. So we have separated what we have done with the help of style sheets. We have separated we have separated this the structure of the HTML code from its formatting or from its style. Fine. So now we will talk about the benefits of CSS. The first benefit is pages downloads faster, sometimes as much as by 50%. Like when we were not using CSS, for every tag we were defining its properties, their style inside that particular tag. For example, if I have 10 p tags in my document, so I at that particular time I need to define 10 times a style in that particular HTML page. But with the help of CSS I need to define the properties once for the p tag, and that will automatically apply to the complete document. So the second benefit is developers have to type less code and the web pages are shorter and neater. Like means less code they need to type, so the HTML pages are very like small comparatively to the previous web pages. Then the third benefit is the look of the site is kept consistent throughout all the pages that work off the same style sheet. Fine. So what is like for example, if we are defining the same style in 10 pages, 10 web pages of a website, so what could happen, in there could be a possibility on one page we can forget to write one kind of property to any of the tags, but with the help of CSS we are defining their style and those properties in a different separate file, so it will automatically reflect to all the web pages. Fine, so the things are quite consistent. Then the next point is updating your design and journal site maintenance are made much easier, like, and errors caused by editing multiple HTML pages occur far or less often. Like now the updating is very easy. For example, you have chosen one logo for your website, okay, one logo for your website, and what happened is after some time you have decided like you don't wanted to use that particular logo. So at that time, if you are not using CSS in all the 10 pages, you need to go and edit the logo manually. You need to change that logo name. Fine. But with the help of CSS, what you can do is in a single file you need to make the changes, okay, in a single file, and those changes will reflect in all other 10 pages. Fine, I hope this is clear to you. Now we will talk about how can we add styles to a web page. Like the purpose of CSS is to separate the style of web page from its content, and the style of web page is defined through the styles or rules. Generally, what is the main purpose of CSS? Is to separate style into one file and separate its structure into one file. Like HTML file contains the structure of the content and the CSS file contain all the styles for the content. Fine. So now we will see how we are going to define a style or a rule for a HTML page. To define the basic formatting style, we must first identify the tag for which we wanted to apply the formatting or the style. The tag on which we are going to apply the rule is called the selector in CSS. For example, if we wanted to apply the style for H3 tag, we would use H3 as a selector. Like this way we are going to use it, like H3, then curly bracket start, then we will define its properties and its values, then we will close the curly bracket. Now what is the selector? Selector is actually the tag name without brackets. Fine. So now once you decided the selector, first the step is to decide the selector, and once we have decided the selector, the next step is to define its properties. Like properties decides how your selector going to look like, how your element is going to look like on the web page. For example, if we wanted to add like style for H2 tag, then we have for example, we want font as Arial and color as red. So how we can define this? The syntax for defining a style is, first of all we need to define the selector, then we need to start with the curly bracket, then we define the property name, and then we define the value for the same. Okay, and this property name and value combination is known as the declaration. Now how to do it? For example, to apply the different font style, we will use this property font family. To define the font face of the text and to define the font color, we will use color property. And one thing you need to remember is the spelling of color is different. COLOR you will use in CSS. Okay. So rule for the heading 2 will be written as, first of all you will define H2 tag. This is known as the selector here. curly bracket is started, then you define a property which is font family, then colon, then you will define its value which is Arial here, then you will put semicolon, again you will you can define another property which is color, which is for font color, then colon, then the value of that particular color in colon, and close the bracket. So this way all the output of h2 tag would be in Arial font style and with color red it should display in the browser. Fine. So let's revise the CSS rules once again. The first thing is the selector is usually the name of the tag without its angle brackets. When we use a selector, when we use any tag name without its angle brackets to specify the CSS values or CSS properties, that time it is known as the selector. The brackets are curvy, that is like this, and not square or not round brackets can be used. After each property name there is a colon followed by the value of the property. Each property name colon value combination is terminated with the semicolon. Each property name colon value semicolon, this combination is called a declaration. Let's see this with the help of an example. Here we have defined the properties for h1 tag. Here is the h1 tag, curly bracket, then first property color is equal to orange, and second property text align as center. So we have defined two property on this particular tag. So here h1 is the selector, the tag name on which you are going to apply the properties, that particular tag is known as the selector. Here the values in blue color are the properties and the values in green color are known as the values, and the complete line, this underlined line with pink color is known as the declaration for the same. Like declaration is equal to property plus value. Okay, if you wanted to give similar formatting to multiple selector, you can write them together with the comma at the selector's place. Example, following rule applies the same formatting style to element h1, h2 and h3. Here we have defined all three elements separated by the comma because we want this formatting for all these three elements. Now I have defined the color is gray. This is my property, color is the property for font color and gray is its value. Then font family is the property for setting the font style. Okay, then Vardhana is its value. Fine. So these three heading tags will show in gray color with this particular font family or with this particular font style. I hope this is clear to everyone. Thank you so much. This is the session for today.